Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
We unplugged, here we go. Rudy and the crew, exclusive interview. Welcome to the show. Let's have some fun. We unplugged starts now.
Hey guys, welcome to another Sweep Unplugged. Be sure to go to our YouTube page. Just go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, be a subscriber. It's 2025. 2024 was about positioning. 2025 is it's about dominating. That's what we are talking about here. Sweep the League as we start 2025. And we brought to you already a few Sweep Unplugs to start the year. We talked to Fitz Kohler, who was about fitness.com. We talked to Oscar Vasquez about getting your life in order. What are we talking about today? Well, we talk more about lifestyle changes as you go into 2025. Everybody is hitting the gym. Everybody's motivated. You got to get off that holiday weight. You've got to get into shape. Everybody talks about from January 1st till January 3rd. Everybody's talking about getting into shape. And then it's like, oh, I'm tired of the gym. I don't want to do that. But one thing that's cool is that you don't necessarily have to go to the gym. We've talked about this on other Sweep the League episodes and Sweep Unplugged. You don't always have to go to the gym. Why? Because you have online help. You have coaches that'll be there, and they can be all around the world. It doesn't matter. But once you join their network, you have a personal guy and a personal person there with you through your entire process. So you're not alone. For those of you that don't like going to the gym after a certain time, you can still work out because why? You still have that little birdie in your ear convincing you and giving you the uplifting, motivation that you need to continue your process and to continue on a healthy lifestyle. Who do we have today? We have Mr. Petar Krastev. We're going to talk to him. It's going to be www.pk.coach. Great guy here. He's got a great story behind it as well. But again, we're going to continue in the fitness series here on Sweep Unplugged. Let's bring him on to the show here. It's Mr. Krastev. Petar Krastev, how are you doing, sir? Welcome to Sweep Unplugged.
Thanks for having me, Roddy. I'm all great, excited for this conversation. Hopefully we can bring together some value to your listeners.
I have zero doubt we're going to bring value, because what our listeners love is they love listening to background stories. They love listening to, hey, how did you go from here to here? It's everything. But one thing they do love is that we got you on at the right time, because it's about fitness. It's January. And like I mentioned, everybody on December 31st, Peter, is like, you know what? I've eaten all these tamales in San Antonio, and I've eaten all this. And you know what? I'm done. I'm going to get working out. You hit the gym on the 1st. You're motivated. There's no machine available ever when you go to the gym. And then come January 10th, it's all over. Everybody says, forget it. I'm going back to eating because working out is too hard. So if you can, for your side, www.pk.coach, you offer some fitness advice. And what I find very remarkable is a lot of people do it, but you're not ever ashamed to say it a lot of times. And it's the combination of the belief in God and the workout itself. That's something that I kind of wholeheartedly look at too, because I'm being a religious person that I am, I really feel that I can do a lot of things through him. And my background story, before I give you the mic on that, is back in 2019, around the COVID time, I was 400. My biggest weight was 480 something pounds. I was close to 500 pounds. And my doctor's like, well, I don't know how you haven't died yet. Basically, you should have been gone. You should have had a massive heart attack. I was able to get down. Now I'm down to 240. I was down to 217, but I got down to 240, all this weight. And I couldn't do it not only with my family, but I had to have a belief in something. And I really felt through him that I was able to get this done, because I think he was the one that gave me that wake-up call. But in your case, I mean, you provide a whole lot of motivation for people to continue on, not only on the path to healthiness, but the faith path as well.
I'm so kind of excited that you touched on my faith. That's been the biggest game changer for me. And I was saved 2018 February or 2019 February. Gotta check that.
Okay.
And since I found God, and or he decided to just show up and say, okay, it's your time now, my life completely changed, and I managed to get to here where I am right now. Where before, that's 28 years of my life, I was living in terms of failure, just starting things and failing them, and that's in any area of my life, like relationships, my business endeavors, fitness. I was just bad at everything, and I was quitting at the end. I was just giving my best here 2 months, there 5 months, there 2 years, but at the end it was ending up with failure and quitting. And since I found God, that faith, and it's not just the faith, God is real and God is really helping there. It's not just some faith that you can just construct out of nothing. It's an actual God, and when you have a relationship with Him and He helps you and He guides you and He opens doors for you, He protects you, and He's done that with me all the way, and He continues doing that. And He provided me with the same solutions like you've been provided in situations where I didn't know if I can continue. I didn't know how am I going to get there? How am I going to change? When I joined the industry, when I dedicated my life to this, I started from a place where I wasn't an athlete, had no training professional experience, or not even an experience with a personal trainer, had no friends, personal trainers. All I've seen is just some YouTube videos, barely got any experience seriously, no knowledge whatsoever, couldn't speak English well, couldn't speak in public. That was an absolute no-no. I was so far. So all these, what I've become today, it's a product of my just doing every day a little bit more and having the faith, and it
Yeah.
got and it continues. It's amazing.
It truly is an amazing thing. And it seems like when you get to a point in your life, and I think everybody, no, there's nobody out there that says I've never been there. Everybody's been there at some point. It may not be at the levels of where you're rock bottom, but everybody has a low point that they have to go through. And during that time, I'll be honest with you, I've been a part of Catholic faith back in the day. Growing up, I was raised Catholic, and then kind of switched over to Christianity. And I know that's kind of a little bit of background, but my rock bottom was being that big, losing my dad back in 2018, who I was really close with. That's where I said, you know what? I love my wife, I love my family, but I need more than what I'm getting right now. And once I started to get a little bit more involved, it guided me to the doctor. And I think God presents himself in many different ways. And for me, it was the doctor saying, you know what, you're gonna basically die if you don't get your life in order. You've got to get better. You've got to get healthy. And that's kind of where I see the tipping point for me. So, I really do agree that, God can really make a big difference and put you on a better path.
He does, yes. For health and fitness does as well.
Yeah.
I am a coach helping people. My job is to provide solutions and knowledge, experience to keep people accountable. And sometimes people feel like that is not from God, but just because I'm a believer and I have such a great faith in God, and I don't hide it, I feel like He's using me all the time, and in the same way that He used the doctor sending him to you, and
Yeah,
He's just
exactly.
sending me to people, and I'm helping them overcome their challenges. But that doesn't mean it's really coming from me. It's maybe it's coming from Him, right? And
Yeah.
He takes them on that path of change, and I'm just like the tool that He uses, which is a great blessing, to be honest. This is the best part of my life,
Yeah. I
being able
agree
to serve.
100%. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out there. I agree 100% on that. And, it's not so much that, people think, well, no, it's not that. No, I mean, people get put into your life for a reason. And that's a reason why I think a lot of people, no, so you believe what you want to believe. That's my part right there. I always feel that way. But people get put in your life for a reason, and someone has to guide that person into your life. And I kind of feel like you do. It's God puts the doctor there in my path for a reason. Got my
Yep.
health, been a better way. And I'll be forever grateful. As much as I'm scared of doctors, and I still am scared to go to the doctor, it's a necessity in life, and I feel a whole lot better with my life. And that's something that I attribute to a lot of help with the doctors. My faith as well. We're talking to Petar Krastev, www.pk.coach, and what I want to touch on a little bit here is the fitness side. So
Mm-hmm.
you're a fitness coach. Now they can get to you anyway. Being the website is a great way to get to you, and I know you're on social media as well. But when you're getting into shape and you're so motivated, you probably see a whole lot of times where the motivation is so high, and then it comes down and it comes down and it comes down, and
Yeah.
then you try to get to that high point, that high mountain again, and you can't get there. As a coach, as someone who deals with it a whole lot more than I do or anybody else that I know, what's the difficulty in getting that person back to where they are? And is there ever a point as a coach you're thinking, all right, I see Rudy starting to fall a little bit, let me grab him and let me coach him up, let me get him to do this? What's
Yeah.
the difficulty in that?
So just like you asked a simple, short question, but it's actually a combination of so many things, and
Oh yeah,
we
lay it all out.
talk about it forever, right? Before I dive into it, I have to say that I'm launching the podcast today, just after this podcast recording. Whenever it
Nice.
goes live, my
Nice.
podcast will be live, and people can listen to real, actionable, practical, and tactical advice on getting in shape. And the podcast is designed for entrepreneurs, executives, people who build our community. We have a community of these kind of like-minded people, and I coach them all one-to-one. And this is going to be the podcast absolute game changer. There's nothing else out there. It's called Limitless Body and Mind. You should, whoever listening, you should go and check it out
Yeah.
on all major platforms. YouTube will be first because they just approve it right away, and then you can hear there like a hell of a lot more from what you will get from this episode alone. So the question, back to the question about the difficulty of getting back in there is, I think the whole struggle, the whole issue comes from the fact that people were trying to get there.
Mhm.
That shouldn't be such a high priority in the first place. People shouldn't be expecting to feel super excited about their health and fitness journey and to be super hyped up about it all the time. This is not realistic, and it's not the way it works. Health and fitness is something that we do because we have to, because our bodies are not designed to be healthy just like that. They're supposed to be running wild, hunting bears, fighting with tigers and stuff like that. We're not supposed to be sitting at home in
Yeah.
front of the computer. So now fitness becomes just the essential part of life. And that's where problem is. They look for motivation. No, they have to actually take responsibility as grown-ups. They have to grow up, like wake up. Your body's not going to stay the same all the time. And now a lot of people will say, oh, I like it the way it is. I like myself being fat and lazy, and I'm totally cool with that, and you can't tell me shit, and you can't tell me I'm wrong, and we're supposed to now respect and accept that. I don't. I totally disagree with that. I believe that it's your responsibility to get fit because of your family, because of everybody who loves you, because you're part of something bigger, without which your life will be miserable and you probably wouldn't want to exist. So we owe it to everybody, including God, to keep yourself healthy and in shape, because no kids want to look after their parents at the age of like when their parents get to 50 or 60 and to pay for nursery homes and
Yeah.
they just don't deserve that. It's your responsibility to keep yourself healthy.
Yeah.
And if you understand that fact, then motivation is not a big factor there. Motivation is a great thing to have, but it comes and goes. I can give you some tools on how to pick yourself up, how to build up your motivation on demand whenever you need it. But it has to all has to start from the fact that you understand that it's your responsibility to train literally it is your responsibility. And when I say train, I don't mean playing golf. That's not training. Playing golf is just, having fun in the park with a stick. That's not training. We're talking about resistance training to train your muscles, which will train also your bones, your joints, and it will keep your body moving. We can also add the cardio as essential part as well. But without this, you're not training. Just because you're walking, you're hiking, you're not training. You have to get into training, and the only way to preserve your body is that. And that's not even enough. Like, that's not a guarantee. But if you don't do that, you know already from your personal experience that where you can get like 400 pounds, you said, nearly 500.
I was nearly my highest weight was like 483, so nearly 500 pounds.
That's insane.
Yeah.
How did you feel during that period when having that much weight?
That's a great question, because I don't lie about stuff on this. I felt good. Mentally, I felt good because I was eating what I wanted. I I turned to food as a comfort at that time, and that was my entire life. After high school, I didn't play sports anymore, so I just felt like food was the great. Now,
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
mentally, I felt good because I was eating what I wanted. I enjoyed food. But physically, this is the part. Because my mental status would convince my physical status that I was okay and I was fine, my physical would never, ever get the best of me and tell me, hey, your heart is in trouble. Hey, your cholesterol's high. I went to the doctor. My A1C was 12.7. I was type 2 diabetic and didn't even know it. So that's kind of where the balance for me was I wasn't allowing my physical stature, my physicality on the body to tell my mind, hey, you're way overweight, you're doing damage. My mind was just like, you know what? I don't care. I enjoy the food. I love it. I'm happy when I eat. So I mean, if I'm happy, I'm happy. Who cares what, my body's telling me? So yeah, for me, I think it was more mental over physical, and that was the struggle then. But yeah, I felt good at the time because I was happy. But I knew when my wife would say, I'd watch you sleep and you would stop breathing for a while. You had apnea. Yeah. I mean, that's when a lot of stuff started to scare me, was that part.
Yeah, shit. It is scary. It is scary. And I experienced this, seeing this with my clients and having, very close touch to them. I hear these stories quite a lot, and I feel for them because it comes a point where you actually will get really scared and freaked out. You get a heart attack, and then you realize it's because you've been eating whatever.
Yeah.
And here is the twist. Now, you feel being in that situation where you feel happy and you contribute that happiness to doing whatever you like. Mm-hmm. It's very hard for you to relate how are you going to be happy when you have to stop doing all these things. And it's a bit of a huge question mark. How the hell are you going to get from the place where you're happy eating all the foods that you like and then stop eating them and still be happy and even being more happy?
Yeah.
It's very hard for people to understand. And that's because it's a matter of you becoming a different person. And that's why we have these long transformation programs, because we're talking about a personal growth. If you look at anyone who is fit, who's been fit all their life, there's a good chance they even look more happy than you are when you're so overweight and having health problems and you think you're happy. Yeah. You look at them, they seem happier often. Maybe not always. That being fit doesn't mean you're happy by any means. But they still can enjoy life. And I can tell you from my personal experience that I can enjoy my life very well now when I'm fitter, and I can, in fact, I can eat more freely without being worried about getting overweight, because it's easy for me to reverse what I've overeaten. It's easy to me to just burn the calories. It's easy to maintain. It's
Mhm.
like life is so easy for me now. If I was neglecting my health and being overweight, then everything just piles up on top of me, and there's nothing easy about getting back into shape and being fit again. It's a very hard and very long journey, but you can change. You can change the way you feel when you eat. You can change your habits around your food, around training, around your activities, around breathing, around anything in your life that contributes some shape or form to your health and fitness. And when you change, then your perception about what's good and bad changes, and you will start feeling good about other stuff, not just the food. Food won't be the only thing, and it's a very long journey. And that's where people like get really lost. They think I just have to lose some fat, some weight, get back in shape, but they start from zero and they think it's just gonna be easy because the first week was easy. No, you will go through a hell of a lot of challenges, and
Mhm.
it's going to suck. It's really going to suck until you change. And you will need that motivation, and you will need all the discipline that you have, and the willpower, and maybe accountability, and a lot of knowledge as well, to and consistency. And you will need so much to become that different person. And that's a shame. By the way, it's not your fault for getting there. It's our government's fault for letting us become like the way we are. It all comes from the top. There is a saying: the culture in an organization starts from the top. Whoever's on the top is guiding the culture. If you look at the US 30 years ago, everybody was fit. Now,
Mm.
the majority of people were having some sort of issues. So it comes from the top. We should be educated on these things from early age at school, and the life would have been very different. We wouldn't even have probably these kind of conversations on podcasts about the importance of health, because everybody will be health by default, and I wouldn't have a job. But it's not the case. We live in this crisis, and unfortunately you're a victim of that. But
Mm.
you can turn this victim mode into being a leader and to succeed. Just go through the journey. Do it for everybody who you love. You have parents, you have kids, you have family, people who look up to you, who need your support. Do it for them, succeed, and then help them succeed too. And this is really the fundamental part of our mindset, our the principles, what drives us to change and to become better, because we just do it for everybody. And we accept this is it, this is a situation, life's a bit messed up, we're messed up, but we will change, we'll do it together, and it's going to be for the better future. If you think
That
this way, you don't need much motivation, really. So
Yeah, that's and I'm thinking, man, I got a couple more things I want to touch base on, but that's almost like the perfect message to end the podcast on right there, because the way you said it was as good as anywhere I could have said it. And I really, really love what you said there. The thing is one thing to remember, guys, is the fact that you didn't become overweight, overnight. You're not going to lose weight overnight. And it's
yeah,
weird because when I'm sitting there, close to 500 pounds and I'm starting to lose weight, you're right. I lost weight fast. I started walking a mile a day. That's what my doctor said. Eat this, do this, walk a mile a day. I started walking in my backyard. I just walked a mile in my backyard and I took advantage of everything that I could. And I started to lose weight fast. And then you hit those walls and it's like, oh my God, I'm only losing, 2 pounds. But it's those barriers. You're going through these barriers and you knock them down, and that 2 pounds goes into 15 pounds, and then 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, and then 10 pounds. It takes a little bit of time. So I remember that was my mental stat, was the fact that, what, I did this to myself. I ate all these late night foods and these, I already like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Peter. If I was to tell you my meal plan for the whole day, you would probably click off and say, "All right, podcast over. I'm done talking to this guy." but it's been well documented, some of the meals that I would eat. And I really feel like you got that way. It's going to take a lot more. You did it to yourself. It takes a lot more work to get that weight off than what it did
Oh
to put it
yeah,
back on. So
yeah.
I truly understand that. We're talking to Petar Krastev, founder of Coach PK, www.pk.coach. And I mean, the one thing that I did want to touch on real quick was you were a finalist for Fitness and Nutrition Transformation Coach of the Year at the Paseda360 National Coaching Awards in UK, but you won the Excellence in Healthcare Award at the Health 220 conference in Dubai in 2024. So recently, I mean, that's the thing that people got to understand, is that they're not getting just, hey, a coach. They're getting an experienced coach. They're getting an award-winning coach. That's something that a lot of people need to understand. That's why they've got to go to your website, www.pk.coach, get in contact with you, because, hey, guys, you don't want to end up like me and, have all that weight holding you down. Now I can go back to playing basketball with my daughter and coach her and stuff. But Petar, it's been a fun time having you on Sweep Unplugged. I'm going to give you the floor here to end the show. Like I said, you ended it on a great message there. Where can they contact you? You've also got the Limitless Body and Mind podcast coming out. As soon as this is over, it's going to be going. And that was breaking news. Now, I
Yes,
got to get on my
you're the first
producer.
one here. Yeah.
I got to get my producer to be like, I need that breaking news segment so I can just hit the button. Hey, we're breaking news to everybody. But you've got the podcast coming out, Limitless Body and Mind with Petar Krastev, wherever podcasts are available. I know you mentioned YouTube as well, but eventually it's going to explode. So where else can they get in contact with you? And that way they can get the help that they need to get motivated and to get on the right path.
Right. So first of all, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, being very, very kind and genuinely interesting person to speak to. So thanks for that, and keep it up. I'll give another bonus, which is included in the podcast. So once you go and find the podcast, Limitless Body and Mind, which also has a website, limitlessbodyandmind.com. Very straightforward. You really can't get it wrong. But there are other podcasts with similar names, so make sure it's spelled exactly the same way, Limitless Body and Mind. Inside the first episode, you will see that I give a free program. So you don't even need to pay a penny right now to really get in shape. All you need is just to decide. You're one decision away from starting a program that is a premium elite program, which we do for executives and entrepreneurs from all around the globe. The real thing is something that is not available on free apps out there. It's something that's going to be heavily personalized to your lifestyle right now. It's going to teach you a hell of a lot of stuff. It's free in there. You can go, just find a podcast, you'll find that too, and you listen, and they can kind of will go along the podcast with the app, which is an app where you install, and it guides you like day to day. You have tasks and you just complete the task, you learn lessons and do things, do workouts. It's very cool. So they go together, and that will be a huge change for you. If you need to get in touch, obviously, just in any social media channel, I will accept your message happily, and we can talk. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, I am there. And you can also directly schedule a call with me, I think, from my website, which is pk.coach, which you mentioned a few times very kindly. So yeah, if you want to find me, you can find me, and I can help you. As you mentioned, this is real coaching. I don't get awards for just bodybuilding and just looking in good shape. The awards are for achieving the results that with other people and understanding the transformation process. So I would say there's a lot of value, a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely sounds like a lot of value. And I gotta ask, why did I know about you back in 2018? I could have definitely used your help back then. Still could use your help now, so I might be hard to contact you as well. Talking to Petar Krastev again, www.pk.coach. And again, appreciate everybody joining us here on Sweep Unplugged. We got more episodes coming to you, but again, starting 2025 with some great guests. And we know you got to keep that motivation. Don't feel just because you're into January and you started off strong that you got to start off. You go back to being slow again. Continue the workouts, continue the fitness program. We all want to live a healthy lifestyle. So appreciate everybody joining us here today. Thank you, Petar, for joining us. And then we'll have more Sweep Unplugged throughout the week and also next week as well. So like I always say, until we see you later, we'll see you later, knuckleheads.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.